Hey, it's Terry with Terry's Tidbits, and in our user group meeting yesterday, I showed you a quick little tip. Then I hit a bunch of other stuff, but the quick little tip is how to add comments to formula fields. And I think you'll like that. It's going to be super fast. Take a listen and share your comments and feedback if you have any on that. Thank you so much for tuning in and watching my channel. Please subscribe. Very much appreciate all of the encouragement and feedback that you share on our channel.
Great. And don't leave yet, everyone. We have one more thing. We're going to end on a high note. It's been all high notes all day, but Terry has a tidbit for us. Terry's tidbit.
I have to
live.
follow all of this, and that's like horrible. But let me give it a quick shot. This is I've got a quick tidbit for you today, and then a couple of things I want to share. It's just informational for you. But the tidbit is, did you know that if you are in a Salesforce formula field, so I've got a simple formula, maybe it's simple, maybe it's not, but I've got a formula field here on the screen you can see. And sometimes when you're building formulas, they can get rather complex and a little bit confusing, even for those of us who build them, to come back in and say, what the heck was I doing there? Well, did you know that you can, in a formula field, add comments to your formula? And by adding comments, you can, just like if you were to use the description, it's just good practice sometimes to be able to explain, here's what we are trying to do inside this formula. It just might be something that could be a little bit helpful for you as you are building those out. So the syntax is the / with an ampersand, or not ampersand, asterisk, and then you also have to close it with the following. So let me show you another one. I just have a picture of, and that might make it look a little bit easier to see how it would look. But here's another example of what that would look like. If you ever wanted to be able to comment or explain what are you trying to do inside of a formula, you've got a couple different ways there. You can just simplify that for your own documentation going forward. So that's the little tidbit. What I also wanted to share with you is that I am working on a new flow series. I'm going to call it Fundamentally Flow. It'll probably be starting up in, you'll probably start seeing videos on it in probably May. What I'm looking to do with that is to help those of you trying to understand flow to learn the basic concepts of what's a variable, what are the different types, what's a collection. So we're going to hit some of the more fundamental type questions. When I'm working with folks trying to understand flow, a lot of times it's the core concepts that they're struggling with as much as just the dragging of elements onto the page and figuring out how to connect the dots, so to speak. So things like variables, working with data. We'll talk about the get element, the update, creating and deleting records. So we'll get a bunch of that stuff going. How do you deal with loops and the concept around looping through? We'll work through screen elements as well, but some best practices and how do you debug your flows. So that'll be coming. Next session, I'm going to be doing a presentation on this topic. So it'll be more of a generic overview of helping us understand how to leverage flow going forward. So that's what our next session will be. What was it, May 20th or something like that? So that'll be kind of fun to do. But the other thing I wanted to throw out, and more importantly, is to I'm going to put a sign up form in our chat. If flow is something that you are interested in sitting side by side with me and learning, I would welcome you to fill out the form and submit to me an idea of what your flow is that you need to create, and just explain it in the Google Doc there that I just put out. And what I'd like to be able to do is spend two 1-hour sessions with you. We'll probably live stream it and just walk through your use case, your scenario, and I will coach you through that build process so that you're learning hands-on with me guiding you at the same time. So what I've seen with a lot of admins, especially a lot of my customers and things that I've worked with, is that's been a really good way for them to learn flow. And so I wanted to throw that out there as something for our community, that if you're a part of our community, I'd like to give you the first chance at this. I'm probably only going to do maybe 2 or 3 folks. So give me a really good scenario. We'll see if we can't help you as you're learning flow. So that is all I have for you today.
But Terry, you said otherwise you're doing it on your YouTube channel. Is that what you said? I just want to make sure I heard that right.
Those will be recorded. They will be
cool.
They will be recorded. So I've got a ton of caveats in that form because I want to be really sensitive to the fact that I don't want you showing me customer information from your org. So it needs to be something that can be publicly visible. And so, yeah, be sensitive to that. Now, we can certainly spin up a dev sandbox and build a scenario that you could use for work, but I don't want you to have customer data on that. That would just not be cool. But yeah, does that answer your question?
Yep, it does. Thank you.
Very good. Awesome. Joseph, I'll throw it back to you to wrap us up.
Thanks so much, everyone. We will put links in the community. That's the best place to go for any follow-ups from today. Thank you again, David from Speckit, for that wonderful presentation. And thanks everyone for joining us. We are right at 1 o'clock. We're still on schedule. So Terry and I will be around for a couple of minutes if you need anything else. But thanks again, everyone, for joining us. Have a great day.
See you guys.